wasn't the plan. Don't wanna demand it. I've done what I can. And I never mentioned the times you were rude. And I never mentioned when you hid the truth. Scared to lose it all. I will stand a chance. And I don't wanna fake it. What if I can't walk away? You got me saying away. Hoping I don't make the same mistake. Same mistake. Hoping I don't make the same mistake. I don't like to leave things unresolved. Maybe it's madness. I'm begging you, please pick up the call. You're causing me damage. I should've known wasn't your fault. Don't even matter. I wasn't thinking clear, trying to take it there. Scared to lose it all. I won't stand a chance. And I don't wanna fake it. What if I can't walk away? You got me standing in the rain. Hoping I don't make the same mistake.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another Shenandoah University broadcast. I am here with Rain Dreamer for the first time this season to do a quick little pregame interview. My name is Chris Clayton. Thank you for joining me back here. Week 1, first competition of the year. How are you feeling? How's the team feeling coming into your first game?
Well, I'm personally very, very nervous just because this is my first time playing competitive Overwatch. But I have a lot of fun playing it, so I have a lot of faith that we're going to do good just because we have fun together. In terms of the team, we've been practicing a lot since the summer, and I think we're going to kill it tonight.
Yeah, and that's great to hear. And I'm curious, you sort of led into the preparations you guys do. What sort of goes into preparing for a competition like this and for the season as a whole?
So mainly we just do a lot of scrims. We, before the school season started, we scrimmed every single day. And then we did some VOD reviews, went over just our tactics, where our strengths were, where our weaknesses were, kind of worked on those bits. That way we could just be better overall, bring a lot of utility in. And then once the school season started, because everyone had classes, we had a more tailored, custom scrimming schedule. But we pretty much just do the same thing, just a little bit more refined.
That's awesome. Yeah, and for any of you who were able to watch at home, I'm sure you were able to watch. We had another Overwatch broadcast on Tuesday with a different roster, and the pregame interview in that broadcast, they mentioned that we on campus here weren't even sure we were going to have an Overwatch team this semester, and we ended up with, 9 players this year? So I'm curious, what's that been like, having that many players around to sort of guide and help each other?
It's been good. We've had a lot of different perspectives, just different varying ranges of people who have played, like Brad, who I don't know personally how long he's been in. I just know he's been in for a while, but being able to hear his takes from playing Overwatch 1 to now, being someone who's only played Overwatch 2, has been really nice to see just the dynamic changes within the game. And he's offered a lot of insight for me on how to be a better tank.
Yeah, that's great. I love hearing that. And with the full season ahead of you, as we look behind us, we do have the standing for your guys' groups. I'm curious, before we get into our first game, is there any goals, anything you'd like to take away from the year?
I just want to improve. I want to be a better tank, and I want to get in there and Ramontra punch everyone in the face.
That's great. Isn't that what we all want? So, before we get into it, is there anything else you want to say to the people viewing at home?
Vamos, gente!
Amen. Well, thank you very much for joining me back here. For all you at home, don't go anywhere. We're going to get ready for our competition very soon. So, take a breather, go get some food. We'll be back very soon.
Hand out, she holds. It's feeling like we've been here before. We're both so broke. That's something that'll keep us afloat. Don't walk too slow. We can't keep falling deeper again. Came too close and the taste so far from pure. A rush of blood, but we search for so much more. We've all been here before. We've all been here before. We've all been here before.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another Shenandoah University broadcast. We have some Overwatch to you, but first, my name is Ben Kincaid, and this is Avery Giesman joining me on the cast today. Avery, how are you feeling?
Oh, Ben, I could not be more excited. I've casted many games for Shenandoah Esports. One of the very few games I have not yet casted is actually Overwatch, so could not be more excited to see the squad. Historically, Shenandoah fields Overwatch very, very well, and this year is no different, Ben. I cannot wait to get into the action.
Yeah, no, these teams have been looking very good for SU historically over many, many years, have placed very, very well in a lot of the leagues that they have played in. But today we have NECC, the first week of competition for NECC Overwatch today. We have our secondary roster playing today. We have the standings up there for you, or the groups rather. So we have some good teams. We have Concord and we have Drexel, who we play this evening. We have Hood College as well. They are William and Mary. A lot of very good teams in this group. So I'm very intrigued to see how this one plays out for the SU squad.
Yeah, a lot of really established esports programs in this little grouping we see here. A lot of teams that Shenandoah has seen before. I remember Drexel, one of the super conference teams that we played against last year. So that's probably going to be an interesting match there. I mean, probably going to be a different squad, but you know, the same school, so that's exciting to get to see us get a little bit of a rematch versus Drexel. Great school there, and you know, a couple of these teams I even recognize from playing our other esports titles. So it's great to see that we get that rivalry amongst schools across different games. I always think that's a fun time.
Yeah, no, it's always so fun to kind of have that cross kind of companionship with all these other teams playing these teams as well. It's always fun to see. But first, let's take a look at what our roster looks like today. We have some new faces joining us for this SU match. A very exciting lineup, right? We have one consistent. We see Shay down there, Cherry, a returning support from earlier this year. We have Ian Bailey, Ontiveros, our tank, Danny, our new DPS, and then we have Matthew as well, our other DPS here. So we have Ian and Shay on support, Bailey is our tank, and then Danny and Matthew are our DPSs for today.
Yeah, this is incredibly exciting, Ben. I mean, when you look at this roster, these are a bunch of people who have played for SU in the past in maybe different games, and then they've also been competing by themselves, but this is the first time that a lot of these players are seeing this team environment when it comes to Overwatch. They did their placement matches, obviously, for the NECC to see where they stacked up. That's how they ended up in this pool. It's based off of your relative skill level, based on how you do in those placement matches. But this is the first time that they're actually playing their pool match, so this will go on the record permanently. So that is, you know, a little bit of a nerve-wracking thing for new people to competition. But what I'm saying about these players is, even though they may be new to Shenandoah Overwatch, they're certainly not new to competition in general. I want to shout out Danny for his amazing CS career.
Yeah.
You know, that aim on that Widow does not come from dust. That is honed down. And, you know, I know Matthew as well has previously played for Shenandoah Overwatch a few years back and just now returning to the game. So a lot of players that are returning as well. So Ian Bailey returning from last year Shenandoah Overwatch. So a lot of experience on this squad, but also new to this specific competitive environment. Yeah,
no, it's very exciting to see new faces and old coming together. Other players like Danny, like you said, coming over from CS right onto this Overwatch squad. A very, very talented, talented hit scan player, right? We expect them to see that Ashe, that Cass, or that Widowmaker, the tried and true Widowmaker.
I hope we see the
Widow from Danny. Very, very good in that regard. But then we also have Rain Dreamer, right? Bailey on this kind of Ramatra Sigma kind of kick. A little bit of Ryan in there as well. So very interested to see how she kind of steps up into a role of her own in that tank position.
Yeah, as an Overwatch player, you have to be very flexible. The meta is changing quite frequently, and from team to team, based on their comp, you're going to have to change up yours. Not everything can work into one team that works into another. Not everything can work into one map that works on another. That's what's so unique about Overwatch. All the characters, they play relatively similar. They have like the movement is the same. They have the same like kind of jump height, the same kind of strafe capabilities. But what makes them different is going to be your abilities, your guns. And that's going to be the things that you have to adapt to if you want to have a large hero pool in this game. And that's something that we see from this squad. But also we see from this squad a lot of specialty as well. I want to shout out Hot Wheels on the Lucio, Ian Bailey. He is going to be very strong on that hero specifically, and you know, doesn't spend a lot of time on mechanically on other heroes. So that can be one way to condense yourself and really learn a skill set. But also a lot of these players, if they want to develop in their game, they're going to have to expand it at some point.
Yeah, no, I definitely think specifically for Ian, Hot Wheels, aka also known as Hot Wheels, that Lucio pick is going to be big, right? If they do decide to pull that out, Lucio, not incredibly meta right now. We're seeing a lot of the Juno, a lot of the Ana as well, Brig kind of toss in the mix of things, but sometimes you just have to resort to comfort, right? What are you comfortable with? What have you played the most? And Hot Wheels Ian has played a whole lot of Lucio and is pretty darn good at it. So maybe that's something that comes out in this Flashpoint matchup, which I believe is our third mode that we go through for NECC Overwatch. So I'd expect to see something like that, because Flashpoint is a mode that is centered around fast rotates, right? So if you're not getting there fast enough, it's going to be difficult to try to find these retakes.
Yeah, and I would argue this team is actually a little bit slower than our varsity squad. We see the Juno a lot on our varsity squad. We see players like Tiny Shiny, who likes to play very fast, very flank heavy, very in your face. When I look at this roster, I see Protein Shake, Danny on that Widow. I see Onion Man on like Ash or Cass, and that's going to be a much more slow playstyle, much more poke playstyle. Of course, you don't have Rain Dreamer on the Sigma like all the time for like true poke, but you do have like the Ramantra to move in fast if you need to. But I would argue that this team is a little bit slower, but with that Lucio, they can speed it up, or they can play that slow play style. It's going to be dependent on the map and how they're feeling today.
Yeah, and I'm very interested to see kind of who steps up into that COM and IGL role, right?
Yeah.
Because so far in our kind of varsity, our A team kind of structure that we have, we see a lot of Void X, we see a lot of Tiny Shiny making a lot of these calls of like, all right, let's set up these plays, let's see what we can make happen here, and then we'll readjust later on. But we haven't really seen this B team really perform yet, or really play rather. This is week 1, so it'll be very interesting to see who kind of steps up into that driver's seat. Is it going to be Shay, who's also on this A team leading the way? Is it going to be Rain Dreamer, the tank, going through for Bailey? But it'll just be interesting to see kind of who takes that first step and that initial step to really get this ball rolling.
Yeah, a team leader is so important, Ben, and I want to highlight how hard this team has worked, you know, even without that like dedicated leader. I want to point this out. I point this out on my interview a few days ago, but this team really has put in a lot of work into this squad and the main squad. I mean, so much passion on this team. This team's been working since the summer on a lot of scrims and brought on only one new tryout in Danny for the open tryouts that started at the beginning of the semester. So this team has been seeing each other for a decent amount of time now, so they've been able to have that privilege of working together and figuring out a dynamic that works together, which is obviously a very potent thing for a team game like Overwatch, and they are able to coordinate their attacks very well. So yes, someone is going to step up and be that IGL, be someone who can track those ults. I'm going to look to Hot Wheels for that,
right.
if he's going to be on that support. And you know, Shay, obviously an incredibly experienced player as well, can maintain those kind of comms as well. But it's also the tank's job, like Rain Dreamer, to call out those team fights as well. So a lot of those things come together and form the team that is the Shenandoah squad. But also, like, you look at the individual players, but the team as a whole has been working together really well. And that's what I want to highlight.
Yeah, no, I mean, they've been working tremendously together. And it's also a big help kind of having that A-team kind of side of things, because we have very good players still here at SU. Voidex specifically, I believe, was a top 500 DPS, just an insane player, right? Voidex is very, very good. So Ranger being able to bounce off of some ideas off with Voidex and kind of be like, all right, is this where I really want to push in? Is this where we kind of fall back, or do we want to try to find a rotation here, a reset? And having that knowledge from a lot of these experienced players, especially in the competitive scene. Voidex has been played for, what, 6 years here for SU, 4 undergrad, 2 grad. So there's a lot of experience in the building to really help improve and support this B team.
Yeah, these players are really willing to work with each other, as we've seen. We have multiple coaches who are willing to work with these players, both the official coach B3N and also like other outside people who are willing to work with this team. So this team really does have a lot of support behind them and can develop very quickly, and I think we're going to see that tonight. Yeah, no,
for sure. I think it's going to be a very progressive kind of game, so I expect to see some aggression coming through, especially from Hot Wheels. If he picks this Lucio, he goes kind of crazy on it, right? So I don't want to say overextend. I don't want to say overextend, but maybe some aggression coming through from the Lucio.
Yeah, I mean, he loves to go for those kind of assassination attempts really on that backline, and that can be a really potent part of Lucio, right? He doesn't have a lot of heals in his kit. He has this big circle of healing that heals his allies around him, but at the end of the day, he's going to be more potent when he's speeding his team towards a point, and then once his team is there, then he can go on these kind of solo missions where he destroys those squishies in the enemy team that have those low health, so that his team can have the player advantage in those team fights. It's going to be up to the other support to do the majority of that healing.
Yeah, and I believe we do have our map pick. I'm not familiar with that specific screenshot on that map, so I'm not 1000% confident on what that is. Busan, I believe,
Yes.
is the name of it. Possibly that will be the name or the map that we have going in for control, and then we're going to go into hybrid, flashpoint, push, and then escort later on if we need that push and escort map towards the end there. But it looks like we're gearing up, getting closer and closer to game time as we go into our fly through Busan here. That is the first capture point, or one of the capture points that we see on control.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about this control format, Ben. This game number 1, let's talk about what this looks like. So there's going to be that highlighted rectangle, that zone. That's going to be where you're going to want to take your team to. If your team can manage to get all of the opposing team out of that zone, your team can capture it. If your team captures that zone, your percentage, your kind of score at the top of the screen will progressively go up. If you reach 100% before the enemy team, you will take the round. And then it's the first two rounds to take the map, which is going to be what the actual point is that goes towards that best of 5 that these guys are going to be playing out. So it's a little bit complicated, but you'll pick it up as we go along.
Yeah, this is one of the second points down there below this bridge where those 3 walls are kind of poked up. That is going to be the capture point for that second point on Busan here. So it'll be quite interesting. That's the third one, right? In that kind of
the arena, as
the
it is.
arena, yeah, the arena. Exactly. So it'll be very interesting to kind of see what comps kind of come out of this. We're going to look towards that dive comp, this poke comp, or are we going to look towards kind of this more brawl style comp of really playing this front to back, trying to single out 1 or 2 members on the enemy team, get them down, and then play through that advantage?
Yeah, let's get right into it. We're going to see our first hero looks for the first time. I know Shenandoah is a little bit well known for teasing us just a tad on these heroes, so I'm not going to make any big calls just yet on exactly what the comp is going to be. But the players are lining up here. We see all the player cams flashing through as that hero changes. In the bottom left, the player will change with them as well. Something new about Shenandoah Overwatch is we don't only watch the Shenandoah players anymore, but also the other team's players if we think they're about to score a big play. But let's hope that Shenandoah is going to be the one to get us a hefty start here on Busan.
Yeah, and this is kind of what we expected from Protein Shake coming through here with this hit scan on this caster. You can see Danny locked in the player cam right above the health bar's Range Dreamer. We'll be taking out the tried and true Ramatra as well. A very, very comfortable pick for a lot of these people. We see Hot Wheels on this Lucio Cherry on this map as well, playing a little bit of kind of a flex position, but we already see Onion Man going down as Lowo Gang, able to find the angle with the Brig, and SU falls in the first fight.
Yeah, excellent flank there from Unwritten. The Echo able to find the brutal Mei wall that was able to seal off half of the team from the rest. Mei with that potent wall that can split up a team in half and cause members to be isolated, and that's what's going to win that fight for Drexel here, taking the early victory. And as you can see, that percentage slowly going up. Shenandoah is going to have to recapture this point in order to stop it.
Yeah, and Ranger, you can already see trying to get out of this chokehold, trying to find this poke damage onto the enemy Ramatra, but already going in. The ice wall coming up, trying to cut off any avenues of attack. We already see the lantern coming down as well, but Protein Shake will fall. Cherry trying to keep people alive, but unable to do so just yet. Unwritten will be lasered down by Rain Dream up top, and now it's just down to this Ramatra. One of the last people standing will go. Tanky and vulnerable almost, but will go down in the end. Hot Wheels able to clean that one up, and now SU retaking the point.
Yeah, Garfield Pipe did not want to go down without a fight there. Just putting up the block, Lucky's Reaper, just crossing those arms and tanking the damage. We can see Onion Man here going for a bit of a trick play on this Maywall. Gonna try to cut off one of the members of Drexel here. I think he may have been spotted by this Echo though, so you're gonna have to be careful as Drexel pulls out of here. But no, they are able to cut off the Ramatra, and the window goes down as well. Sherry able to find this backline as the window is providing extra damage for them. Range Reaper running into the team, but Unwritten Echo is going to find some picks of their own. Are they going to turn this around, Ben? It looks like they might just do it. Shenandoah, a beautiful entry, but shut down at just the right moment.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like a beautiful Mei wall coming through from Onion Man, but they just weren't able to get those initial kills. I believe the Brig on the side of Drexel did go down early, but they were quickly forced away from that window. I mean, Garfield doing a great job at finding that ultimate, finding that survivability, and then pushing towards the backline of SU.
Yeah, that was an excellent play from Drexel. What looked like certain doom for them ended up being an advantageous position, and the score line not too bad for Shenandoah just yet. Still plenty of time before this reaches 100. And we're going to try to enter again here. The May wall goes down early, but this Ramacha Rain Dreamer, so aggressive. Can she find the picks as Protein Shake is going to pop the ult? It looks like Shenandoah is going to get a nice entry here as the rally goes down from Drexel, but it might not be enough as the rest of Drexel will soon fall, and Shenandoah is going to win that fight, Ben.
And that's huge from Cherry as well, finding that Lantern, keeping so many members of SU alive. We saw Lowogan in the backline trying to find those kills, but with that Lantern being down, it wasn't successful. They weren't able to find those kills. Ults used as well. We saw, I believe it was the High Noon and the Blizzard as well from the side of SU go down. We tried to see that Maywall tech come through again, but unable to find it as Garfield already going in. We can see Jasper on the flank, able to find two with the High Noon with the Deadeye, able to find the kills, and that is the 2 DPSs of SU already off the board.
Yeah, Jasper's going to find a nice 2-piece there, and that's going to spell disaster for Shenandoah. They can't fight this very easily without their DPS line. Thankfully, they do have Sherry on the Baptiste to provide that DPS, but she is going to go down as well. So now they're definitely going to be forced to back up here as Drexel is going to capture this point. Shenandoah just going to give that up as they're trying to get a retake here. They can get one more fight probably before this timer runs out, but only with Window here. It's going to be a little tricky.
I mean, look at the heals coming through. It was again the Lantern keeping so many members alive. Unwritten Echo already goes down. Onion Man as well, just trying to keep that momentum going, but they aren't able to find that touch, aren't able to find the angle. And point number 1 will go the way of Drexel.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. They were going to end up winning that fight, but just not in time. That's really the big deal about not winning that first fight, not winning that second fight. Even if you start winning the fights later, it takes more time to get that percentage up to where you need it to be in order to win the game. So that advantage that Drexel got at the beginning there, where we were able to win that first exchange, is going to be the reason Shenandoah is not able to touch there at the end, and therefore we are moving on to round number 2. You can see it is 1-0 in the top, Shenandoah on the red side, and this is going to be best of 3 here on this round for map number 1. So if Drexel comes away with this capture point, they will win Busan. Let's see if Shenandoah has anything to say about it as Hot Wheels rolls out on the Juno. Sherry going to swap over to the Ana, and Protein Shake is going to be on the Widow, Ben.
Yeah, the Widowmaker coming out for Protein Shake. Another key hit scan that Danny likes to bring out. But we also see that on the other side as well, Unwritten bringing out the Widowmaker to try to match. So it's really who's going to find the Widowmaker first. We can already see Danny able to find one. Jasper will go down, an early pick in favor of SU. Colin as well on that Juno, going down extremely low. You can see Danny hunting, searching. Cherry able to find one again. Unwritten will fall yet again. But right now, it's a distance game. You're just trying to find these angles, find these pokes, and just get one pick to really get that snowball rolling.
Yeah, Widowmaker loves distance. If she hits a headshot, you will die if you're anything except a very tanky character. So you have to close the distance. And speaking of closing distance, Onion Man gonna run up on this tank and ice him to death. And Shenandoah gonna get another fight win here as they force their opponents to back off. And back off Drexel will. As I said before, they are going to play that kind of distance game. Both these teams with that Widowmaker want to hide her and try to find some heads with her scope, as neither team has someone that can really rush her down. It's going to be a matter of who can find this headshot first. Exactly what you said, Ben. Making this team fight a 5v4 is everything you need in this kind of map.
You can already see Unwritten trying to find these angles. Won't be able to connect on that one we saw a little bit earlier. A little bit of a Widowmaker trade. Jasper going down in place of Cherry on the side of SU, but now we can see Ranger in the middle of everything, trying to find these angles. Cherry trying to keep everybody alive. Nice ice wall coming through from Onion Man, trying to keep themselves alive. The Blizzard coming down as well. Will be able to connect on a few members, but won't be able to capitalize on it just yet. Jasper will go down to Protein Shake from that long distance range that he's been playing with all game long. I mean, Protein Shake is putting out so much damage. Ranger just barely staying alive, will finally go down, and now with everyone going purple, maybe this is the time for Protein Shake to go off, but no, Garfield in that ult able to stay alive and clear out the rest of SU.
Yeah, Drexel popping many ultimates there in order to just survive, and they're going to get this point. I mean, it looked like Shenandoah had that fight all but wrapped up, but the late rally from Logan really came in clutch. They were able to keep the team alive and inspired. That was huge for them as they continue to push this Shenandoah squad off of them. What a fight win from them. Protein Shake is going to get hit by the Widow, but it's only a body shot, as Hot Wheels is definitely going to be in there with the low health as well. And it looks like Drexel might be turning this fight in their favor as well.
I mean, Cherry going down alongside Onion Man as well. Protein Shake, however, able to find one in response to Widowmaker duel going the way of SU. And now off of these respawns, I mean, you can already see Garfield, though, playing so aggressive. Ranger will have that ultimate up and available the next time this comes around. And Cherry did use that nano as well, a huge boost off the board of SU. But still, very close percentages. We see 65% to 52 in favor of Drexel thus far. And now we can see, again, Unwritten trying to find this angle, trying to find this one pick. But no, Protein Shake just able to snuff it out,
too good,
find
Ben.
the angle. And Rain Dreamer, this is the trigger to go in.
Yeah, you can see as soon as Protein Shake finds that pick, SU just snowballs it. Immediate fight win for SU. This break is going to hold on just a little bit longer, but it's only a matter of time before Shenandoah captures this point once more. And Rainjeeber did have to pop the ult there, so no more ults on the side of SU as the Widow ult gets popped there. Drexel holding only one ult to their name as well, so it's going to be a bit difficult of a recontest here for them, but they do have some time to build some ults, so Shenandoah's going to have to hold them off even with a few more ults here.
Yeah, I mean, not a whole lot of utility on the side of SU available. Jasper will have that Deadeye. Cassidy can do so much work if he's able to find it, but good job from SU taking cover. Garfield already going down. Onion Man able to find that one. The Deadeye will find nobody, and now Protein Shake able to open up, find these angles. 24 health remaining after Jasper finds them, but finally will go down trying to take that repeat. Now Onion Man with the Blizzard coming out the wall, coming up as well. Everybody is frozen. A huge Blizzard coming through from SU to stay alive in point.
That was absolutely massive from Onion Man, able to find the perfect time to drop the Blizzard there, and that's going to be a team fight win for Shenandoah. A perfect Blizzard from him because he just ran in there, blocked the point, make sure that no one could capture it because that Mei is still technically on there, even though she's invincible. And then once he was full health, able to find all of those kills. And now Lowigan with the final push with this rally. Will he be able to push the Shenandoah members off the point once more? It's 99 to 99. It is overtime. This fight will win the game as Cherry does go down as well as Onion Man. It looks like Drexel may be the one to take it as Protein Shake tries to find some flanks on this Tracer, but no. It looks like Shenandoah is going to drop one by one in a heartbreaker, Ben. I mean, what a great fight from them that they were able to find that Blizzard in, but it's just too much. This Drexel squad switching to the Sojourn and the Tracer, able to play really fast and catch Shenandoah off guard.
Yeah, I know these last-minute swaps able to come up huge for Drexel, able to find those angles, find those kills. Specifically, that Sojourn from Unwritten, I mean, doing a whole lot of work as well. We had that Widow duel starting off, right? We saw Danny then switch over to that Tracer once they realized, okay, we need to try to find these touches, because right now, this fight is not going our way. Was able to find some damage, find some angles, but in the end, not able to stay alive long enough.
Yeah, I mean, when Protein Shake was able to find that Widow duel, he was winning a lot of those, able to win that aim duel. But yeah, in the end there, when push comes to shove, you have to touch the point or else they're going to get to 100%, and that overtime bar just slowly goes down. So you got to get the Tracer. She's going to be one of your heroes that can get out there, touch the point. But unfortunately, Drexel also on those super fast heroes, able to outpace Shenandoah in that case. But the Shenandoah squad still locked, still ready to go. That is only one map out of a potential 5. You have to win 3 in order to win. So Drexel is going to take the control, but I know that Shenandoah is big in favor of Flashpoint, which comes later, a bit faster of a game mode. I'm not sure what they think about this next one, though. Is it Hybrid?
Yeah, Hybrid is next up on the chopping block here for this series, but I mean, props to SU. They did not look bad at all in that map number 1, right? Very close skirmishes, everyone pulling very great plays seemingly out of nowhere when Drexel looked like they had them backed up into a corner. So, I mean, they looked positive, just weren't able to capitalize on some of the small oversteps coming through from this Drexel squad. Yeah,
I want to shout out Onion Man on that Mei. Able to find those trick plays with the Mei wall on these points here when he was sitting in that corner trying to cut off the team. And then also on that point we just saw, able to find those clutch blizzards, those clutch blocks, and able to survive longer and find big team kills onto Drexel. But in the end, Raindreaver able to find a lot of really good aggressive plays as well. I want to highlight her as well because she's playing very fast. And it's difficult to do into this Ramatra mirror. You know, you're playing into your own character, You're trying to find this poke damage while also trying to find the time where you can go into your beast mode and start punching people. And that's a difficult balance to maintain. You can only start punching for so long before you have to go back to this staff mode. And we can see as Ranger going crazy on the punches right there in that replay. Those are the kind of plays I'm talking about, the highlights. But I mean, Drexel just slightly ahead in these percentages to where like the team fights that we were doing really well and just weren't quite able to secure it.
Yeah, no, I mean, really just kind of a ping pong back and forth. The team fights were really up in the air for most of the time, even with ult advantages. That wasn't necessarily sealing the deal for either side. So it was really down to execution and finding these backline kills, all of these angles. And, I mean, Jasper here finding those 2 kills as well on replay. Those 2 DPSs out of the way was massive for this retake for Drexel.
Yeah, I'll shout out Drexel DPSs for sure. I mean, earlier we saw the Echo and then on the Widow as well. I really like the Echo for that flank capability. I think that this Drexel squad might be wanting to look at that in the future, but they also have Jasper on that cast to kind of fulfill that role. So they're playing that as well. So yeah, a lot of great aim here from Drexel, able to find those angles, able to find those picks onto Shenandoah. We weren't quite able to keep up that time, but with a different game mode here, we'll see if that changes.
Yeah, and I love Danny on these hit scans as well, looking super, super clean, especially that Widow.
For sure.
Was finding a lot of value with these fully charged headshots. I mean, that one there, you saw the Widow 1v1 going the way of SU. I'd expect to see that a little bit more, and maybe Hot Wheels back on that Lucio. It was looking good. The Juno as well was looking very, very strong from this SU squad. So, I mean, staying with comfort right now looks like it's working pretty well.
Yeah, Raindreamer on this Ramatra as well, and then we got Cherry who's able to flex a little bit more on that Ana, and then on really whatever is needed to bring this team's healing. I mean, when you have the Lucio, obviously you're not going to have that main healing, but when you have the Juno, you can go something like Ana to heal from long range, where Juno is going to play more close, play more like fly, try to get a few kills here and there, and that's going to be really useful. As you can see, keeping the team alive is going to be the name of the game when you're playing this really fast Ramatra in your face type comp.
Right.
You need to be able to sustain, or you're just going to get your backline away, and all of a sudden you can survive as Ramatra, but you can't thrive, and you need to thrive into the opponent's backline if you want to eliminate those healing and be able to kill a tank, for example.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I'm interested to see if they kind of stick with this going into this hybrid, right? Because depending on what map we get, there's a lot of different kind of styles. If we get that King's Row, I would expect to see kind of something like a Ryan. I believe we did just get where it's going to be Blizzard World for our hybrid matchup coming up. So I'm not familiar with the map particularly that well, but I'm interested to see if they kind of run back this similar comp.
Yeah, so one idea you can go for on Blizzard World is like this Widow Ashe really strong suit, and that, I'm going to look towards Protein Shake for that. There's a lot of high ground on this map. You can go on the roof and try to snipe these picks just like we saw on Busan, and there's a lot of opportunity for that. I don't expect to see the Ramatra on this map. I expect to maybe go for more of like a Sigma or something different. The Ramatra is definitely Rainjeeper's comfort pick, but I could see that doorway becoming difficult if you only have the beam to cover that.
Right.
Whereas you could sustain for a while in that door, but the shield is definitely nice to have as well. If the other team is going to be playing snipers, it can be nice to have that to kind of cut off your supports, cut off your DPS, make sure they don't get their heads taken off, as Danny Protein Shake is going to be trying to do to this team.
Yeah, now seeing a fly through, I am familiar with this map. I was just not aware of that was the name of it.
You're just trolling.
Right? Yeah, I'm just trolling, indeed. Yeah, so this does have a lot of those high point kind of controls, right? So I would definitely expect to see Danny kind of piloting that Widowmaker yet again. Sigma, I know in this map, on this map specifically, does thrive kind of where this kind of payload goes, right? It's very easy to escort kind of through these close alleyways. That shield and really everything that Sigma can provide thrives in a map like this.
Yeah, and let's talk about this game mode a bit, Ben. You talked about the payload. That's going to be the main attraction for this game mode. There's going to be a big cart, and the idea of the game is you have to push the cart to the other team's base. So if you have team members on that cart and the other team does not, the cart will move forward. So the idea is on defense, which is what Shenandoah is going to be on at the beginning here, they're going to try to get the people off the cart as frequently as they can, because the timer will soon run out, and however far your cart gets in that time is going to be your score, essentially. And then we're going to swap sides, and Shenandoah will try to get farther than the Drexel squad. So it's who can push that cart farther. If we both push the cart the whole way, then we will tie, and there's rules for that we'll get into later. But as you push that cart, there are these kind of checkpoints that you have to reach, and that's going to be the big deal, is can Shenandoah clutch in those checkpoint scenarios? Because those are going to be the points that if you get to them, more time is going to be added to the clock, and time is going to be your friend in this game mode, because that is the time you have to push this most important cart.
Yeah, no, for sure, and it does look like it's going to be this Sigma on the side of SU, and a possible Winston coming through from the side of Drexel as well. Protein Shake getting in the air, getting high, but unable to find the angle just yet.
So it's actually going to be Drexel on the defense here, as Shenandoah is going to be on the attack here on Blizzard World. So yeah, going for the Winston on defense. Very interesting from Drexel. Going to play a very fast game here, try to rush these supports of Shenandoah, especially that Ana. She's going to have to be protected by her friends if she's going to want to survive this brutal comp that Drexel is running, that wants to just run at you. And as Range Reaper is being ran at right now, Winston finding himself very low, though. Going to have to retreat there, as Shenandoah playing this comp very well.
Yeah, we can see Jasper as well behind enemy lines here, just trying to find these angles. Everyone is purple. Cherry able to find the angle, but not able to find any kill just yet. Cherry purple themselves. Everyone on the side of SU was so low. Jasper finally on that flank angle, able to find those kills onto Protein Shake and onto Cherry. Garfield will go down, but they weren't able to capitalize on an insane nade coming through from Cherry.
Yeah, that's so unfortunate. That nade from Ana making everyone purple makes it so that they cannot heal anymore. And that was so huge for Sherry to be able to find that nade, but just not able to follow up. As you said, Ben, not able to find that damage to come out. Great sustain from Drexel, able to find Jasper on the flank there as he was able to go into that backline and just start shredding through the Shenandoah members. That's a really fast playstyle that we were talking about earlier. They have Unwritten on this kind of poke playstyle, and they have Jasper on this very fast playstyle, very flank playstyle. As we move on to the point itself, Drexel's going to have to defend what they need to defend in order for that cart to not start moving. The cart does not come into play just yet. They need to capture this point first. And Drexel's trying to keep them off of it, but Onion Man is going to find the first pick, so it is going to be a 5v4 in favor of Shenandoah as they try to take down this monkey that is oppressing them, and not able to find the supports just yet, so the sustain is so great as Garfield is able to pop the Primal and find a great sustain here for Drexel and pushing these Shenandoah members off the map.
Yeah, I mean, we saw Protein Shake as well on this Ashe getting aggressive, but unable to find that kill. He was doing so much work, but just unable to find the right angle, the right moment, the right time to find that aggressive play. And Jasper, we see them switching over to the Soldier as well for that last fight. Another very strong and tricky to play against hit scan on the side of Drexel coming out. Unwritten going dangerously low there towards the end. Now we see Ranger pushing forwards with the rest of the members from SU, but unable to find the angles just yet. The Blizzard will come down from Onion Man. They are able to find one. Protein Shake able to find two. Cherry, sorry, able to find Jasper there towards the end. Garfield staying alive, sustaining as much as they can, but Protein Shake from this high ground, able to find these angles, able to find so much damage, but still they are getting pushed off from this point. The contest still coming through from this Drexel squad. No ults popped just yet from their side. As I say that, though, the Brig ult does go down. Onion Man able to find one on the backside. Donna will drop, and now it's just the Brig, but Unwritten back from the dead, able to find these angles, getting pushed off of the point. SU trying so hard to find the angles, but just unable to do so.
Yeah, Shenandoah had a small point of advantage, but it really fell apart when Drexel's tank was able to find that pick onto Protein Shake. Not having that big damage in that Ashe was a big downer for Shenandoah, and just falling apart slowly. A few ults is going to be popped from Drexel, but one of the heartbreakers here is that Shenandoah does not have an ult yet here to contest this point. They do have 2 out of the 3 pieces in order to start this cart going, but they're going to have to get back on this point and quickly, so they may have to swap onto different heroes to do so, and I just don't think that's going to be in the cards. They're going to have to rush onto the comp they have, and they're going to have to play this very fast Drexel, this very ravaging monkey that is in their backline. As the Soldier is going to pop the visor, the Bob is going to come out from Protein Shake though, and Protein Shake is going to find 2, but they're going to have to live this visor with a primaling monkey. Are they going to be able to do it? Bob going crazy, but Drexel is able to shut it down. A freeze able to come out from Onion Man. Will he be able to secure this point? as it all frozen. Drexel's going to be forced to back off of it just a little bit, but this Monkey is sustaining so well as Drexel just absolutely locked down defense here on Blizzard World. Not even going to see a cart today, Ben.
Yeah, I mean, SU having a very strong initial push into that fight. Bob doing a lot of work like you called, but then the visor coming through from Jasper, the primal coming through from Garfield, just able to do so much work, sustain so much damage, and SU, they just ran out of tools.
That was so unfortunate, Ben. That Bob able to find those early picks, but like we said, because Drexel was able to have that ult advantage, and by that just have more ultimate abilities than your opponent does, you're going to be able to get some momentum there, and the sustain on that healing was just absolutely fantastic. This Winston on Drexel is just not going down.
Yeah.
You know, you don't really want to focus on him when you don't have something like a Reaper. You want to try to find that healing first, but they're just not able to. They don't have that DPS line on board, and they're going to roll out on this Sigma once again. It looks like we're going to try similar style here on defense. This is more so where I expected the Sigma on this defense, able to put on that long-range pressure. But as we just saw, you don't have to play hero like Sigma on this map. The Winston, the Monkey, doing very well for Drexel at rushing down these supports and these DPSs, even though you don't have the range.
Yeah, about to hop into this one, about 15 seconds until the gates drop, but you can already see a little bit of switch up on the side of SU. Cherry is going to be piloting that Juno and Hot Wheels now on to that Brig as well, trying to get a little bit more survivability and some more support in that backside, switching off of that Ana. But on the side of Drexel, pretty much everything staying the same other than Jasper switching off that Soldier onto that Tracer for that extra mobility.
Yeah, Shenandoah going on the break to try to sustain this Juno, try to make sure that she stays alive, because if she stays alive, your healing is going to be in good condition. So they're going to try to keep all their players alive with that break shield, and going to push the Monkey off of the high ground there. Don't want to get pressured, but Jasper on this Tracer is flanking, and Sherry is going to go down to the Brig, not able to protect her this time, as the entire support line of SU is going to crumble, and that is disaster for Shenandoah, because one team fight loss is going to mean that Drexel is going to begin capturing this objective, and all they have to do is capture it in order to take this map. So that team fight win is going to be massive for them. Will Shenandoah be able to touch before they reach 92.7%? I'm not sure they will, Ben.
Yeah, it does not look likely that they will be able to make it back in time. The cap, the win, maybe Cherry, not quite. That'll be map number 2 there in favor of Drexel right off the bat.
Yeah, I mean, when you don't capture that first point, I mean, amazing defense by Drexel, first of all. But, like, when you don't capture that first point, it's, like, really hard to win at that point. You have to full hold the other team, which means if you don't get to see the card, they don't get to see the card either. And unfortunately, on a map like Blizzard World, losing one team fight sometimes can be the difference between capturing that first point and not capturing it. And the reason that Shenandoah wasn't able to capture it, even though it seemed like they were doing really well, is because they weren't able to get like a team wipe like Drexel was. They were able to find 2, 3, but then they were forced back off of the point by Drexel. And that's just such stellar play from Drexel. It's going to take some regaining, but I believe we do have Flashpoint next, so it's going to be very different. We still have the point, but there's no cart that rides along. Just going to be moving from one point to the next very fast.
Yeah, no, and props to Garfield, right, on the side of Drexel.
Absolutely.
That Winston looked really good.
And Jasper as well on that Tracer especially.
Yeah.
Able to find those flanks, those picks. That was really huge for them.
Yeah, no, those flank positions that Jasper was just kind of sitting at, just doing so much kind of small chip damage, went a long way, right? Because as soon as those shots from Unwritten were able to find those backline targets, Jasper was there to clean up the scraps, find those last-minute kills, and that's really what separated the two teams in this map.
Yeah, let's look at these highlights once again. We can see Jasper and Garfield being featured here. You know, Protein Shake just getting dove, and when you can't scope in on that Ana because you got someone on you, it's like, man, what am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to get damage? And that's exactly why Drexel is on this Winston pick, is because you can jump on characters like that Ashe and make her not have a fun time. And you can see this incredible visor from Jasper. This was in a team fight where Shenandoah was looking so strong, but Jasper able to turn this around with a Soldier along with the Primal and Garfield. And then even the Mayult's just not enough to stop this Drexel squad.
And we can see Rangemer as well, surviving a very long time in a lot of these extended fights, but as a Sigma, there's not much you can really do when, I mean, your team is not there to support you. Props to Drexel for being able to find those backline angles and those picks. It was close to start, right? It was very close. SU had very good pushes and good fights, but they just weren't able to take that second step, find that one extra pick to fully force Drexel off of the point.
Yeah, and it's difficult to do when you're playing these really high movement characters like Tracer, like Winston, because if you get them low on health, they can just flash away. They can jump away. So it's really difficult. You have to bait out those cooldowns. You have to find a way to isolate those players without those, and that can be a very difficult task, especially when you're playing a big comp that focuses on sticking together and rushing the opponent as a unit. It can be difficult to isolate those targets, but it's a game that you must play if you're going to want to win this game.
Yeah, and it does look like we will be taking a timeout right before game number 3, so don't go anywhere, and we will be right back.
Shenandoah University is a big little university rising.
With 22 Division III sports teams, over 200 areas of study,
over 300 annual performances, an elite academic esports program,
Nationally ranked health professions programs, one of the biggest university presences on Broadway,
immersive AR and VR learning programs,
cybersecurity and computer science programs, and innovative undergrad and graduate programs.
all at a place that cares for you.
Shenandoah University is the big little university rising. Find out more at su.edu/rising.
We have the Esports Arena right here on campus in Winchester, Virginia, and this facility acts as the hub for all esports activity at Shenandoah University. Students are able to use this space not just for competition and practices, but also as a living learning community and a sandbox for them to come and explore and practice and try out things related to and through esports in the gaming industry so that they're getting that hands-on learning and the skills necessary to help them find a career by the time they graduate. We also have the professional level broadcast production booth where we do all of our broadcasting and production, from casting of our games that we play right here on campus to working with outside entities to record footage for them as well. In addition to the space that we have here in the Esports Arena is the Esports War Room. Our students get to use that space for studying, but also outside projects. So our students get to use this space for professional development and the academic side of our esports program, which is such a critical component to go with that competitive element that we have. So we combine all of our facilities at Shenandoah University with competition, community, and career preparation. We have over 250 days of programming, and there's something for everybody, and we want you to be part of it.
Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for sticking around after that short break. We'll be hopping into map number 3 of our Overwatch Series Week 1 for NECC for our B team. Map 1 looked very, very strong. Map 2, however, did not go our way at all. That dive that Drexel implemented looked so strong, and we just had no way of countering it.
It was indeed, and it's a hard game to counter. And it's going to be an adaptability game for Shenandoah. Able to take timeouts in between each of these maps, so you're able to recollect your thoughts. Shenandoah taking one here after map number 2. They're going to need to reverse sweep in order to take this series. So going to need to reset the mentality, going to need to figure something out here. What worked? What didn't work? It's going to be hard, though, because now we're moving off of those game modes, going to something not totally different, but something that's a little bit different in concept. We're still going to be capturing zones. It's still going to be, you have to figure out what's going on, what heroes are going to be best in this situation. But with that, especially with the mental reset, Shenandoah is locked and ready to go.
Yeah, no, for sure. And Flashpoint is the next mode that we have up. That is third in line for most Overwatch competition that we see here in Collegiate. So Flashpoint is very favorable for teams that can move fast. And Hot Wheels plays a really good Lucio. So I'd expect to see that coming through from this SU squad. And on the A squad as well for this SU team, their favorite game mode is this Flashpoint. So maybe they learn some tips, some tricks from that A squad, and they will implement them here today.
Yeah, the new hero Juno as well, also having that speed ring to make you go fast. But Ben, it looks like we're going to be hopping into Push here as the next game mode. So instead of Flashpoint, we're going to have something a little bit different. It's going to be more similar to the cart game mode, where we're going to have a robot pushing a barrier. So going to be a little bit different here, but you'll see as we get into it, it's going to be this little robot who pushes the barrier towards the enemy base. So as you make progress, Ben, the enemy team spawn gets closer to your objective. So it's kind of a strange dynamic there. How far can we go while literally pushing into the enemy team spawn? So they're going to be spawning quicker when you get further. And the robot, after he pushes this barrier, if you do end up retaking, so getting the entire enemy team off of the robot, then the robot has to run back to the other barrier and start pushing that one. So 2 barriers, the robot will push towards respective bases, and the robot has to run back and forth in order to actually make progress. And when you're pushing the barrier, that's what actually goes towards your score.
Yeah, no, for sure. And Push is a very interesting kind of game mode, right? Because it's very scrap heavy. So I very much so expect to see kind of a brawl style comp. Maybe this Ramatra coming back out from Rain Dreamer. Maybe this Widowmaker as well, depending on the map that we get for this Push, can make an appearance again for Protein Shake. It looked very good in that first map. The Ashe was not yet clicking just yet, but maybe that might have just been a little bit of just a positioning issue here and there every now and then. But still, a very, very good hit scan selection that Protein Shake can come out with. It did not look bad by any means. But yeah, it'll just kind of be interesting to see what they roll with here. If they try a dive comp of their own, maybe they go over to this Rhine for this more brawl style comp if they don't like the Ramatra in this situation. So there's a lot of things that can kind of be swapped around here.
Yeah, we have tried both the Sigma and the Ramatra now on Rain Dreamer. So we have that diversity of tank already on this match. We could swap out that DPS, as you said, Ben. But, I mean, really the support line has changed briefly, but this Shenandoah squad, they have their game plan, and they're going to go into this match in whatever the best is going to be.
Yeah, and it looks like it's going to be Runa Sapi for the Push map coming for this third map of the day. So yeah, I mean, I like it coming through from the SU squad. I think there's a lot of potential here. And yeah, we'll just have to kind of see how it plays out. I definitely expect more of a kind of a brawl comp coming through with this one.
Yeah, I mean, you can do a lot of different strategies on this map. You are afforded some high ground. You're afforded some scrappability. I'm curious to see if Drexel is going to roll out on this dive once more on that monkey, on that tracer. Try to isolate those targets of SU. They haven't been able to win these aim wars with Protein Shake. So they're really looking to try to rush him down, take him out of the fight early, try to rush these supports on Hot Wheels and Cherry, try to make sure they just do not have a good time in general. And I think there's a lot of hiding spots on this map, Ben, so it's even possible we see something like a Reaper come out where he's just trying to catch you in a dark room where you don't want to be at night.
Yeah, no, I mean, we saw Flames earlier this week go off on that Reaper pick, so maybe Onion Man pulls out a Reaper, maybe Protein Shake pulls out that Reaper. We know he's very comfortable with these hit scans, but maybe this is a little switch up for Protein Shake here coming into this map. But On the side of Drexel, I mean, I'd almost expect to see this Winston coming out again because that looks super, super strong into the matchup they have here today. So, yeah, I wouldn't expect too much to change up on the Drexel side, but I do expect some swaps on the side of SU.
It definitely could be the Winston again. He doesn't have like a big space he can jump over that makes that jumps out to me immediately. He gets the robot in this spot really quickly, kind of nichely, but because there's a lot of these closed rooms that you can take, and that can be kind of awkward for him. But also the range is going to come out as well here. We could see something like a Bastion, for example, who can go for that long range multi-hit poke that's kind of spread out over time. Another very popular pick here is the Venture that Unwritten's flashing here as we go into a small tech pause here. But yeah, something like a Venture works like a Reaper, where you try to get into these secluded spaces, try to surprise your opponent with these really deadly ultimates that can take really big team kills, and it's really hard to kill these characters too. Their sustain is super high. Venture, a character who can dig underground and become impossible to hit. I mean, a very annoying character to play against. And when we have people like Protein Shake, who might be on these long-range characters who don't want to be up close, that Venture could cause some issues.
Yeah, no, for sure. We did get a little bit of a sneak peek kind of into the lineups here. I think we saw on the side of Drexel a Doomfist coming through and a new tank player subbed in as well. Zeus put in on the side of Drexel. So Garfield coming out, letting some other members have a crack at the spotlight. But this Doomfist coming through works really well in push, right? It's very scrappy. There's a lot of mobility on this Doomfist. And it's very hard to track what the angles are going to be coming through from these fights.
Yeah, I would be very scared facing a totally new player on a totally new hero, because for all you know, they're bringing in Zeus as someone who specializes in this Doomfist, right? I mean, you're bringing out on this map that we have not played Drexel on yet. So if they have a strategy specifically for push, let's go for this Doomfist, let's make sure, and we got something like a Tracer as well, something like our Venture that can isolate these people, punch them, shoot them. Members of SU could fall quickly, but at least we have something like a Mei, Onion Man, specializing on this Mei in order to sustain with this block, be able to slow them down. But Protein Shake is going to stick on the Ashe, as we predicted, so at least we're going to have some help from Bob as well, who can sustain the point. And then Hot Wheels and Cherry going to go with the Juno for that speed that we mentioned earlier, and Cherry on that Ana for that long-range healing, and of course, that ever-important purple grenade.
I mean, we can already see on the side of Drexel here, a lot changed, right? We see the Kiriko, we see the Lucio, Unwritten piloting now this Venture as well. Jasper will go down, Protein Shake, the Ashe finally coming alive. Cherry trying to keep everyone up and breathing, will be able to do so, as Unwritten will fall as well to Onion Man. Onion Man finding yet another one. A great early fight coming through from this SU squad, able to pick off all these separated members from Drexel.
Yeah, we already see the expertise coming out from Sherry on this Ana, able to keep all of her teammates alive there, and that was incredible because Protein Shake was under a lot of pressure there from that enemy squad and able to sustain there. Ever so important for this Ashe to stay alive because she inputs so much damage, and Ana able to keep her alive in that case, not even needing the purple in that particular fight, as Onion Man pushing forward on this Mei as well, trying to get some stray icicles as Danny looks for another pick on this Tracer. It can be difficult to do, but if you catch her at a range, it is possible.
Yeah, and we can already see Lucio going down, is purple, but won't fall just yet. Onion Man able to stay alive, but Zeus is in this backside, finding these angles. I mean, they are almost surrounded right now. We saw Jasper as well on this Tracer, fully behind enemy lines, just finding these poke angles. Multiple members on the side of SU falling so low. Now it looks like the priority is going to be these DPSs. Onion Man still barely alive, but will finally fall as Zeus enters the fray. Now Ranger, the last one standing, Cherry having to fall back, waiting for reinforcements to respawn.
Yeah, Drexel breaking through some great positioning there from Shenandoah. It looks like they were able to find around that building. They were able to get out of that scenario where the Doomfist was able to put pressure on, and they were able to get back into Rain Dreamer where they were able to sustain there, making sure that none of them ended up getting picked off. so able to survive for a little bit, but ultimately Drexel is going to be able to find the cart as Zeus brings in the ultimate here on the Doomfist and starts wailing the punches, but we are going to pop the Juno ult to try to sustain here, try to get some damage. That Juno ult is going to increase all the damage on our squad as Shenandoah is going to be able to live a little longer. This is an even fight as Onion Man is going to find the Tracer. Zeus going to back out, try to find this backline of Shenandoah, and is going to find Onion Man, but not before he gets down the freeze. What a brilliant ultimate from Onion Man, able to turn that fight around, making sure that Doomfist, if he does find him, that he dies as well.
I mean, yeah, that was a great blizzard coming through from Onion Man, able to lock down Zeus. We now see them switching over to this Ramatra, but SU on this push are looking poised to extend their lead. We're pretty close right now, 55 to 54 meters for both teams in favor of SU, as now they hold the hand of the robot, walk them all the way back to the plate that needs to be pushed. But now we can see the contest coming through, Unwritten popping the ultimate. Protein Shake will already fall. Ranger able to find Logan on the backside, but again, the DPSs from Drexel just coming alive. The Kitsune Rush coming down as well. Ranger, one of the last ones standing on the side of SU, just trying to run away, trying to stay alive, but still able to stay alive. The wall coming through, cutting off a lot of that DPS coming through from Drexel, but still unable to do anything with this survivability that they find themselves with.
Yeah, almost certain doom for Shenandoah with Kitsune and the Venture ult being popped there, able to just shred through the DPS line, as you mentioned, but Shenandoah sustaining incredibly. Raindreamer even going to survive this exchange, and a Bob going to be thrown onto the point as well to try to turn this around for Shenandoah, and this Ram is getting awfully low as he is going to get beated there from Logan. Going to make sure that the Ramatra does not fall as he almost has ultimate himself, and this is such a critical fight because whoever wins this is likely going to take the lead, and Shenandoah turning a bad situation into a great one as we get another Ram duel.
Yeah, Zeus does go purple, but they aren't able to capitalize on that one just yet. Unwritten taking some chunk as well. Ult for ult on the side of the Ramatra's. Protein Shake able to finally find the kill onto Zeus. Now we can see Ranger pushing the agenda, pushing forward, trying to get this robot wrestled back into their hands, and they're able to do so flawlessly.
Yeah, Jasper swapping off to the Ashe as well, trying to match Protein Shake on this comp, and Unwritten has just been doing great things on this Venture, able to play that fast playstyle, so they're willing to go something like an Ashe in order to get some poke, try to pick off a few members of the backline, as we see Unwritten already going on yet another flank, but it's going to get kind of caught out here by Sherry. Going to try to rush her down, but she has the healing nade on deck. Onion Man is going to be forced to block as Ranger falls awfully low and just not able to get anyone alive here, as Cherry is just under too much pressure.
Yeah, Cherry there, a huge props to Unwritten, going into that burrow, going invulnerable, staying alive long enough to then find the angle, distracting Cherry from the healing. I mean, Cherry did everything she could trying to stay alive, trying to keep the team members alive, but they were just too separated, too scattered in the team fight. But still have a fairly sizable lead, but with 4 minutes to go still in map number 3, plenty of time for Drexel to try to move this robot.
Yeah, push is the greatest time block we will have. That whole timer will run out unless someone pushes the barrier the entire way to the enemy spawn. So still plenty of time here for Shenandoah to continue to defend here. And yeah, excellently played in that last fight by Drexel, just isolating Cherry. That was amazing. As it looks like Shenandoah might be the one isolating here, as Bob is walled off by Onion Man. That was incredible, but they might still get turned around anyways, as Drexel is going to win this fight even after isolating that Bob beautifully.
I mean, 3 ults used on the side of Drexel make a clean fight for a very sizable lead now, as the robot continues to be pushed in favor of Drexel. But I mean, that's many ults used. Zeus and Logan are the only ones that will possibly have an ult coming up in this next fight. Where on the side of SU, we might see Bob from Protein Shake, we might see Raingamer with her ult as well. Onion Man still and Hot Wheels about 50% away from their ults being up and available. Very pivotal ults as well, especially this Blizzard coming through. But
yeah, the point of interest is definitely going to be that Bob then. I mean, 95% of the way there, he sustains the point, he makes it so that he can't move, and he shoots everyone on the opposing side with perfect aim, as Ranger is going to find the pick onto Unwritten. Such a pesky Venture that has been in their backline, and that's going to give them the initiative to go ahead and push this robot forward. You can see Drexel already backing up, knowing that it's going to be very difficult to take out this healing of Shenandoah without their ever important Venture, but Raindreamer wants more.
Yeah, Ranger pushing in, pushing forwards, has the ult up and available. Don't know if she will pop that one just yet. I mean, we can see Unwritten taking plenty of poke as well. Now popping out from behind. Onion Man able to land the icicle to perfection, and now ults being thrown everywhere. Onion Man tossing down the Blizzard. Cherry will fall. Bob out as well from Protein Shake, but Zeus is running through the team. The ults coming through. The survivability, the sustain from this Drexel squad is just too much right now for SU. Ranger is still holding on to that ultimate as well, maybe hoping to stay alive just a little bit longer, but no, Jasper, aim down sight, will be able to find the kill.
Yeah, Ben, I mean, we were able to pop the important ultimates there, but just as you said, it was Zeus and Logan who were able to utilize those very pivotal ultimates, like that incredible ultimate, able to keep your teammates alive for so long, and that's the reason they were able to win that fight, even though Shenandoah had a bit of an advantage there, just not able to find the right order there of the ultimates, and gonna ultimately go down as Zeus has just been going off on this Ramatra. But it's Shenandoah's turn as Rain Dreamer pushes in with her ult and gonna find 3. Protein Shake gonna find the other 2 for a team kill. That is gonna cost them all of their ultimates, as Drexel does have more than them. We see up top, we got the Kitsune, we got the Venture ult, and they have a lot of distance and only about a minute on the clock. This is a tricky spot for Shenandoah.
Yeah, and Cherry about to have this nano up as well. If they are able to find a good nano and a good couple of kills, the Kitsune coming down already. So many members on the side of Drexel is so low. Ranger will finally fall. Zeus able to find 2 with the mighty arms of Ramatra. Colin as well able to find Cherry on the backside. No one falling on the side of Drexel. A clean fight coming through, and now full control yet again. 45 seconds left and a whole lot of distance to be covered from SU to stay alive.
Yep, could not be cleaner from Drexel there, able to eliminate this Shenandoah squad while only utilizing that Venture ultimate. I mean, incredible from them, and they have the Bob as well to throw onto this point. This is a do or die for Shenandoah. Can they make it happen? No Cherry and no Nano, Ben. That is devastating. Rain Dreamer gonna drop immediately. Onion Man able to find Unwritten, but it's only a matter of time before the rest of the Shenandoah squad is eliminated, and holding on to the Bob is Jasper. The recontest is not going to happen this time, Ben.
Yeah, Protein Shake will have that Deadeye off of respawn with 5 seconds left and a pushing robot. I mean, if you're on the side of Drexel, you don't want to be pushing this one. You don't want to touch it. You just want the timer to run out. They will be able to make it in time. We will go to an overtime push here for SU. Orbital Ray up and available for Hot Wheels. Onion Man with the Blizzard as well. But as you look on the side of Drexel, the Bob already coming out. Will they be able to find the angles? Colin trades across the board. Ranger is still alive, but Onion Man will go down. The Blizzard, however, does come out in time. They are able to find these angles. Zeus locked up, frozen, barely still alive, able to go into that armor form as well and find the kills. SU, a valiant effort in that last fight, but just barely not enough.
Man, how unfortunate, Ben. It looked like just when they were out of it, Shenandoah may have turned the tides, but it's going to be Zeus, the substitute for Drexel, who was able to find the final blows there onto Rain Dreamer, who was able to stay alive the longest in that fight. They looked so good in that final fight, Ben. They were able to find the ultimates in order to sustain, but Drexel, with that Bob, with that Ram ult, they were able to find what they needed in order to secure the win, and this time it is going to be a 3-0 for Drexel.
Yeah, Drexel playing super, super well. Likewise for SU as well, right? They did not look bad whatsoever. Map 1 looked super strong. Map 3, very back and forth. That hybrid, a little bit of a toss-up there with that dive, just unable to match that Winston's aggression. Garfield doing a great job piloting that one. But, I mean, in this last map, we saw a lot of back and forth, and this brawl-style comp that this second SU team has been working with seems to be trending in the positive direction.
Indeed. Yeah, I mean, we could see so many great things happening from this team. We see them supporting each other. I want to highlight that one play when Drexel was able to find Cherry in the back line when she was not able to heal her teammates. In those kind of spots, when Shenandoah set up with their Ana, who was able to sustain them so well, Shenandoah is doing the right thing, right? They're able to keep Ana in their sightlines, but they're just not able to distract this venture quite enough just yet in order to make those kind of plays happen. But when the ultimates were flying, Shenandoah was keeping up with this Drexel squad. We would see Onion Man, excellent blizzards coming out from him, able to sustain very well with the block. A lot of these team fights, you could tell, well coordinated from Shenandoah. You talk about leadership at the beginning of this broadcast. I could say that these team fights, there's no way they're not led, and there's no way that this team is not coordinated. They're just missing these very small things, but this squad is looking so good.
Yeah, no, the squad looking very good indeed. Like everyone across the squad has had very positive moments in this series. No, there was no one weak link here, right? Everyone looked very strong, very cohesive. Drexel just had this twist on this meta, able to find these dives and really put them to perfect execution against this SU team.
Yeah, well, thank you guys for joining us on this broadcast. Don't go anywhere because we are going to have an interview just after this with Protein Shake, the Widowmaker Ash Cassidy, who has been hitting some shots tonight. Let's throw it over to him and get his thoughts.
Thank you, Avery. I am joined in the back room with Protein Shake here. My name is Chris Clayton. Thanks for hanging with me back here. Obviously, first game didn't go how you wanted it to. How are you feeling? How's the team feeling?
I don't know how the team is feeling because I just took my headset off and I was like, okay, I have to breathe and I have to understand what actually happened on my end. And then all together, when we're going to be calm down from our emotions, we're going to look at the VOD review and we're going to figure out our mistakes, work on them, and prepare better for the next games.
For sure. And I'm curious, from this first game, what did you learn about yourself? What did you learn about the team?
We need to scrim more, 1,000,000%. We need to just play more and put in more time together and actually understand our strengths and understand our weaknesses and understand like how to improve in every aspect of the game. And about on my end, I felt a little like nervous. Yeah, there is some pressure to it. And on Ash, there were some very weird duels. They were very funny. But I felt confident on Widow because, you know, just click heads, very simple. On Ash, you gotta click it 3 times. So, yeah, dealing with pressure is one thing, and also hitting shots on other characters besides Widow must be also a thing into consideration.
Awesome. Well, one final thing. I won't keep you too long. Anything you want to say to the people who were able to watch from home?
What can I say to them? I hope that you enjoyed the content, even though we didn't win. There surely are going to be wins for us, for the Academy team. And yeah, everyone stay positive, don't tilt, and click heads.
Amen. Well, thank you for joining me back here. For me, Protein Shake, and Igloo and Ben out on the desk, thank you so much for watching. That'll do it for us. So be a friend, tell a friend something nice. Follow us on all of our socials if you enjoyed today's show. We'll be sure to have more shows for you in the future. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Shenandoah University is a big little university rising.
With 22 Division III sports teams, over 200 areas of study,
Over 300 annual performances, an elite academic esports program,
Nationally ranked health professions programs, one of the biggest university presences on Broadway.
immersive AR and VR learning programs,
Cybersecurity and computer science programs, and innovative undergrad and graduate programs.
all at a place that cares for you.
Shenandoah University is the big little university rising. Find out more at su.edu/rising.
We have the Esports Arena right here on campus in Winchester, Virginia, and this facility acts as the hub for all esports activity at Shenandoah University. Students are able to use this space not just for competition and practices, but also as a living learning community and a sandbox for them to come and explore and practice and try out things related to and through esports in the gaming industry so that they're getting that hands-on learning and the skills necessary to help them find a career by the time they graduate. We also have the professional level broadcast production booth where we do all of our broadcasting and production, from casting of our games that we play right here on campus to working with outside entities to record footage for them as well. In addition to the space that we have here in the Esports Arena is the Esports War Room. Our students get to use that space for studying, but also outside projects. So our students get to use this space for professional development and the academic side of our esports program, which is such a critical component to go with that competitive element that we have. So we combine all of our facilities at Shenandoah University with competition community, and career preparation. We have over 250 days of programming, and there's something for everybody, and we want you to be part of it.